name is Tasha. I am a licensed registered nurse in North Carolina, and welcome to my first video. Okay, so let's get into it. So this video is going to be about how I passed the NCLEX in 75 questions on my first and only try. So let's just have a quick little story time. So after I graduated in May, like maybe May 7th or May 8th, after graduation, I went on a trip to the Virgin Islands, maybe like a week after graduation. I can't really remember. We were only there for a couple days. I studied a little bit while I was on my trip, but not much. Obviously, I was very distracted by everything else and tired of studying because I had just graduated. So I did a little bit, just to say I did. But so then when I came back from my trip, I packed up my stuff from home. I'm originally from South Carolina. So I packed up my stuff and then I moved to North Carolina like 3 days later. So I got here, got everything settled up. It probably took me maybe 2 weeks to get everything moved in. I had to go back home, and then I had some family issues. So it took me probably 2 weeks to get fully moved in. And then I started studying. So we can say I started like really studying maybe the last week of May. And then I took my NCLEX the third week of June. I wasn't working when I moved up here, so like literally when I woke up I would study. I would go do like DoorDash just to have like extra, like a little bit of pocket change, but I wasn't working my full-time job that I'm currently working now. I didn't have any friends, so I really didn't have many distractions. I would just be here every day studying. I would take walks, work out, but most of the time I was in here studying. So I know most people, like a lot of people will do like a 30-day plan or 60-day, whatever, something longer than, what I did. But for the short amount of time that I did study, that's all I was doing. I used this online website called BoardVitals, and it's very similar to UWorld in that it has the computer adaptive tests, the question styles, but I liked BoardVitals better. Well, I never used UWorld, but from everything that I heard from people that had used one or the other, I thought BoardVitals would be a better option for me, considering that it was cheaper. And BoardVitals gave me, I think it was like unlimited computer adaptive tests versus I think UWorld only had like 2 computer adaptive tests. And NCLEX is a computer adaptive test. So I liked BoardVitals better because it gave me unlimited chances to take the test, get used to the style, get used to the, increasing complexity of the questions, and it was cheaper. So I think I did like a 3-month or a 6-month subscription to BoardVitals, and I just did that every single day. I also listened to Mark Clement, who used to write questions for NCLEX, and now he does the study sessions review. So I listened to him on YouTube. You can't find them on YouTube. They're usually on Spotify. So either one, they're all the same. I listened to him. He makes things easy for you to understand, easy for you to remember, because you're not gonna remember everything. You don't know everything. Different schools, different programs, different teachers focus on different things. So what he does is he takes kind of the big topics, kind of make sure that you know what you need to know, and helps you figure out a way to remember it. So that's what was really helpful for me with Mark Clement is, it's obviously going to be like brain overload. You already have anxiety over this huge test that you have to pay all this money for. if you don't pass it, you have to wait like 45 days to retake it. So it's already a lot of stress, and then all like trying to remember everything. It was overwhelming for me. So I was very grateful to Mark Clement for coming up with those easy ways, or just mnemonics, or compare this to this type of way to remember things. So that really helped me a lot as far as knowledge. Confidence wise, I took the computer adaptive test. The first time I took the test, I got to like 200 questions before it shut off. I think my ranking was like somewhere in the middle. I don't really remember how the ranking and the breakdown goes, but it was somewhere in the middle. And then the next time I took it, I did like very bad. Like my ranking was like bottom of the bottom. And so I was confused because I had taken it maybe a couple hours apart, and I was like, how can my performance shift, this much? So then I went back and I was reading the rationales for the questions that I got wrong, writing them down, and every day on top of listening to Mark Clement and just reviewing chapters from my notes that I thought were hard in school, like cardiac or things like that. On top of doing all of that, I would also at night read over the rationales from the questions that I had gotten wrong, and it taught me how to think about the question. I was able to pick out keywords or things that led me astray, things that distracted me when I was reading that question. And so the more times I took the computer adaptive test, the better I did, because I was learning how to take the test. So that was another good thing, another helpful thing that I did as far as confidence, because my scores got better on the test. And come testing day, I was like, I got this. I know how to take this test. I know what to look out for. I have studied. I'm ready. So that really helped me a lot. And prayer. I mean, that calmed my spirits. Walking into test day, I was actually very, very calm. I was not nervous. And then once I got to the location, we had to sit there and wait for like 30 minutes. Like, we were all just in the room waiting. We all had our paperwork. Like, nothing was wrong. Like, they just had us waiting. So that was when I kind of got in my head, and because I had time to think. Before then, I didn't really have time to slow down because, I had to get through so many chapters because I only had a couple of weeks or a couple of days before I took my test. So I was like, I have to do bam, 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 bam. And then I get there and I'm just sitting for 30 minutes. I don't have any testing materials in front of me. I don't have my phone. Like, I have nothing to distract me. Like, literally, I just have my thoughts. And so that is when a lot of the anxiety kicked in. But then I found comfort in knowing that everyone else there was just as nervous as I was. So that helped me as well. So honestly, yeah, I mean, I didn't look over my notes from school that much. I looked over chapters that I knew were hard to me personally. Like, cardiac was kind of hard to me because during that semester, when we were learning about that in class was when COVID first came, or I don't know, when COVID hit. We were learning about cardiac in class. So we were in person, and then 1 week we were virtual, and everything was different, and how we learned was different. So for me, I feel like I didn't really grasp cardiac as well as I should have because of that big transition that we had. And it was close to the end of the semester. Like, I think it was like March, and it was so, May was like right around the corner. And basically, I was just trying to keep my grades afloat so I could go to the next semester of nursing school. So cardiac was definitely one of the chapters where I went back and read my notes, read the book, listened to YouTube videos, other than Mark Clement, like, did everything I could just to grasp it. But other than that, I literally used BoardVitals, their computer adaptive test, read over my rationales for the questions I got wrong. I studied literally every day. I didn't have anything else to do. It was kind of a good thing that I moved away from my family, even though I was kind of sad about it. But being here, like 3 hours away from my family, I had no choice but to study. I didn't have distractions, and I feel like that really helped me in the long run because I am easily distracted. I listened to Mark Clement, and I zoned in and I focused for those couple of weeks and I got it done. And then now I'm a nurse. So you can do it. You got this. Don't worry about it. Just study, breathe, and just prepare yourself. I mean, you've been through nursing school, you graduated nursing school. Obviously, you know what's going on, you know what to do. This is just one more test that you have to take. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Be sure to like and share. Thank you.